Hi guys, this is my first YouTube video, and today it's going to be just how I do, basically it's a get ready with me, I guess. My family is loud, of course. My mom is babysitting the kids, but anyways, I have my Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlighter palette. And I'm going to use it as a mirror. It's not even a palette. I meant to say I'm going to use it as a mirror. Isn't it beautiful? Anyways, I'm going to use it as a mirror so I can finish up my brows. I already did them, but they need to be touched up because I was recording earlier, and I ended up having to have my mother babysit because my son had just woke up and was being kind of naughty. So anyways, this is I'm going to just fill them in just a little bit better than they were. And then we are going to do what I've kind of always done it, but then I stopped for a while, and then I seen OMG Lashes. Isn't that how you say her name? I think something like that. Anyways, this brush broke on me when I was doing it's the e.l.f. Like $2 to $3 eyebrow duo brush, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, and I'm using the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in Chocolate. And I'm using my phone to do this, so I'm sorry. I keep trying to look at the camera, but if you see me looking over here, it's because I keep looking at my face and it's backwards, so it's confusing the shit out of me. Okay, I'm going to use this Laura Mercier Dirty Puff. It's dirty because it's been used. And I have the Peach Perfect, I about said Peach Perfect. I have the Peach Perfect Too Faced powder. I don't care for that powder, like, at all. When I got the sample, I loved it, but then when I bought it, I was like, this was a waste. I love it, but at the same time, it's got too much of a color, and it makes me sick. The taste of it gets in your mouth no matter what you do to try to fix it, and I just don't care for the taste. Anyways, I'm gonna use instead the Born This Way Too Faced Ethereal Powder. Ethereal White or something like that. Ethereal Setting Powder. And it's cute. It's got a little heart in it. Everybody knows about this powder. Everybody and their mama. Because Mr. Manny Mr. Manny MUA loves this powder. And, whoops, not using my mirror. And I went too far up. Anyways, this is all you're going to do is you're going to pat it and look like a crazy woman. Voila, we're done. Let's go home. I am home. Okay, so after we do that, I'm going to set the powder down, and we're going to let that sit for a while, and afterwards we're going to bake it and all that, essentially. Alright, now what I'm going to do, I'm looking down because I have all my makeup stuff right here. I already carved my brows out, so they pretty much don't need to be carved out again, but what I'm doing now is I'm using, excuse me, the Maybelline Master Conceal in 20 White. I'm using this basically to just, and I know the lighting's harsh, sorry guys. This is as good as a background I'm going to get until I decide if this is what I want to do or not, you know, basically. So basically I'm going to just prime my eyes with this. Normally I would use a different concealer, but I've never tried Shape Tape. But everybody says it's too dry, and I don't have dry under eyes, but somehow I do the same thing that beauty gurus do. Beauty gurus, I say that because sometimes they don't even look at themselves as beauty gurus, you know what I mean? Sometimes it can be an insult, so I'd rather not do that. Anyways, and this is a baby wipe, so okay, so anyways, I'm going to use that, and I'm going to wipe up some of this powder because it's messing up all my stuff. And a lot of people have been not setting their stuff, but to me, I feel like I still need it to be set because my stuff tends to be worse. And that's just how it goes for me, so that's what I do. That's what I like to do. See, I mean, it works. Okay, now I'm going to take that powder again, and I'm going to take my puff, and I'm going to set and forget. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to get my eyes good. I'm sorry, but anybody who's got kids knows. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is brush this, and I'm going to clean up my eyebrows now. Not clean up, but I'm going to wipe this stuff away. And now I'm going to use some brow gel. It can be whatever kind of brow gel you like. I'm going to use this little sample size I got from ABH, Anastasia, and it actually glues your brows. And I don't like that, but I did like the way that it made my brows look. But I have to wipe so much of the excess off because it's just too much, and then it really messes your brows up, in my opinion. But it's really pretty. It really works. There we go. Now my brows are fixed. Alright. So now I'm going to go to the big details. I'm going to use my Aquaphor Lip Repair. Immediate relief for chapped lips. I have chapped lips. I've always had chapped lips when I get nervous or bored. I pick my lips. And that's what I've been doing lately. So of course I don't have the beautiful Beauty Guru lips. Alright guys. Sorry, alright ladies. I know some people get offended when you say that. So I'm going to use my Dare to Create palette. What was that? Oh no. My Dare to Create Morphe palette. I just bought this. And it's actually a real palette. I'm surprised. I bought it from eBay from a girl who bought, somehow she was able to buy 13 palettes, which to me that doesn't make sense because I thought there was a limit on these type of things, but apparently not, I guess. I mean, I don't really know, but I was able to get one. It's the real deal. She actually sent me a receipt of her purchasing it, which I thought, I was like, well, wow, that's, you don't even have to do that. But that's nice because obviously the fake palettes, excuse me, my nose itch, are going to be sold for cheap. And they were like, you could tell that they were fake and all that. So, anyways, I'm taking my Sonia Kashuk 109 brush. Looks like this. And as I was trying to do this earlier, make sure it's focused. Okay. As I was doing this earlier, I am taking this shade. Oh, I just gouged another shadow. Shoot. I just gouged the shadow. I gouged this one. Anyways, I'm taking Bare and this one. This shade in the middle is Define Me, I believe. Hold on. Yeah, it's Define Me. Define Me, Bare, and maybe a little bit of Canvas, which is the shade that's been messed up. So 1, 2, and 3. Maybe. Not too sure. Okay, so now I got eyeshadow all under my nails. Yay. And you know what? I'm going to actually undo my hair because I just do not like what's going on right now. Okay. My hair is fairly sensitive, I guess, basically is what you could say. My hair tends to get greasy when you put any detangler in it, anything of that nature. My hair just tends to just get dirty and I hate it. Okay, so now that I'm taking this brush, and like I said, I used it earlier with the same shadows and everything, and I used Bare the most, but anyways, I used that, and then I ended up taking it off because I was like, well, this isn't recording right. I'd rather do it when my kid isn't in here. I'm taking Define Me now. Mixing it in. As you can see, it's just, I mean, it's fine. A lot of people were like, this is such a beautiful palette. I'm sorry I'm using it when it's discontinued. I'm sure a lot of you girls have this palette, honestly, because it was sold out for a while, and you know, when things are sold out, they're not really sold out. They just say that so you want and want and want more, you know, so for the most part, you know. Anyways, oh, it's tickling my inner lash right here. Every time I keep doing that, it keeps tickling it. Ooh, that tickles. This is my trouble eye that I have. I can blend this one pretty good sometimes, and I'm not that great of a blender. And I know you're not supposed to blow on makeup, but this is my own palette. Nobody else is going to be using this besides maybe my mother, you know, so anyways, it's pretty nice. Now I'm using canvas. I'm using the whole middle row basically, except for the end ones that you could contour with. This is a face palette too, right guys? Right, ladies? Okay, so yesterday I actually did a pretty beautiful look. It was an army green look, and I used all of these green eyeshadows right here. I used this one, I used this brown up there, and this brown. Actually, I used this one, just the tiniest little bit of this one, and then I used these browns right here. And then yesterday, that was 2 days ago, and then yesterday I used these blue colors. So today I'm thinking I'm going to go with the pink. Now, pink shadows I love. I have the Anastasia palette, and I love those shadows. I usually just go with pink and glitter all over the eye, but, you know, I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. I mean, like, look at this color. Like, look at that pigment. I mean, there's no why. This green color was a favorite. I mean, it's beautiful. My swatch is shit, but the blue one that I jabbed out is gorgeous too. Pink one. Okay. So they have this pink one, but I am just into the pink and gold, you know. So this is, my light's not doing justice. I'm going to go ahead and get my Huggy Baby wipes. And I'm going to wipe my hand off, my fingers off at least. So these are the shades. They're beautiful. I like them. Oh, and here's one more. Here's a couple of blue ones. Other blue ones. Look at that. That was just one swirl. As well as this one. So, I mean, it's pretty nice. And I wiped my finger off on, honestly, on my shirt. Actually, no, a towel right there. Anyway, so these are beautiful, but I don't really know. And they're pigmented. I mean, my hand's super dirty now. Okay. Okay, I've got a lot of back pain because of my epidural I had with my son, with my last son. It basically almost killed me. So I'm taking more of those shades. I'll name them when I get done and tell you the shades I use. It's a beautiful gradient effect. Basically, I'm just using these four right here. Later on, I'll dabble into these too, but this one right here is beautiful, chocolatey, but it doesn't show up on camera. Anyways, my point is that this is a really good palette, everybody said, but nobody wanted to admit that they were using saturation, and they're upping it, and so their palettes always looked super amazing, but when you get them in the mail, you're like, what is this? This is not what I ordered. Even though it was what you ordered, it just didn't look the way that they presented it to be. And, which is okay, but it's like, I would like to, you know, just see what the palette really looks like, you know what I mean? Okay, so now I think I'm going to go into some of this shade right here. Let me check for you. Okay, so I've been using Bare, Canvas, Sunder, and Define Me, and now I'm going into Vivid with my Sigma E35 brush. Anyways, so, do any of you guys watch drama channels? I'm sure you do. I don't really care to talk about it. Everybody's over TanaCon. I am. I never did it because, I mean, I like Tana, but I don't care for her in the fact that she just talks about getting high all the time, and she's got such a young audience, you know, that it's like, you gotta remember, yes, she didn't ask to be a role model, but when you put yourself out there on the internet and some people start to look up to you, then you got to realize, hey, I gotta take responsibility for this, and either say, do not follow me, this is my life, you do your life, or step up to the plate and be like, set a good example for the children that, you know, come out and see you, and especially if you know that the children that watch you, I'm sure it's supposed to be on the side like that, but who knows, actually it's supposed to be this way, but you're not really seeing too much of that. So my shirt actually says, may your tequila be strong and your weekend be long. It's very cute. Okay, so anyways, what do you guys think about Shane Dawson and, like, the whole thing? Like, I think Shane Dawson, I love him. I've watched him since I was a little girl. I watched his little skits and stuff. They were hilarious. And, I loved him. I was so in love with him. Not in, like, oh, I love him, I want to marry him way, but, like, in love with his personality, in love that he used his own pain to make other people laugh, which is what Robin Williams did. And now I'm just going back in with this first brush that I used with no additional product, just to kind of blend it up into the brows. Not really blend it up into the brows, but, you know, just blend it up a little bit higher. You can see. Just to kind of blend it out. And this eye, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, it looks patchy. It's not. It's just me. I have a certain spot on my lid that just always seems to skip there, no matter what I do. It's always real light there. That seems to have fixed it, but okay. So anyways, do any of you guys feel like he gave Tana a bit of a pass because he loves Tana? I honestly think that he told her, hey, you fucked up, or excuse me, that you messed up and you need to take responsibility for it. And I know she's going to, but at the same time, everybody says, well, she's a kid. It's okay. She's just a kid, you know? And it's like, well, she's not just a kid anymore. She's an actual grown adult. People got hurt there, and that's not a good thing, you know? I don't want to get no hate for it, but I'm just putting my 2 cents in. Yes, I know it wasn't asked, but I'm still doing it. Okay. Now I'm going to take the shade called, what is it? It's called Vibrant and Create. Vibrant, Create, Passion, and Forever, I think, are the shades I'm going to do today. Which is Forever, Passion, Create, and Vibrant. I'm going to take Vibrant right now, that one. And I've been using this one right here. So I'm going to take this one to give it some definition. But yeah. Anyways, so it's just like, you know, sometimes you just gotta admit you completely messed up. And a lot of people were there to see Shane. If I could have a babysitter, like if I would now have had, I'm so glad I had my kids, I love them, but if I would have waited longer, I would have flown out there to see Shane. I would have done anything, like meet and greets, or, you know, makeup conventions, beauty con and stuff like that. I would absolutely love it. But I have a responsibility because I chose myself. A lot of people complain, well, I'm not I can't do anything that 18-year-olds or 19 or 20. I'll be 22 in August. But I'm a Leo, baby. Anyways, though, it's just like, you gotta take responsibility, you know. I decided to have kids. I'm not supposed to be able to have kids. I'll go more into that later on in a future video. Like questions about me, you know, stuff like that. But anyways, me and my husband, ended up having a baby. And we love him, and we ended up having another little boy when we love him as well. But it would have been nice if we would have waited maybe a couple years and got to really be us and have kids later. But you can still have just as much fun and be just as much of yourself with your children. You know, people don't get that. People think my life is over now, and it's like, that's a very sad way of thinking it, you know. And I used to not feel that way, but I used to just feel like I was the only one doing everything, because, you know, the kids always want mama. And my husband works, so when the husband works and you don't, I mean, some men tend to think that you're a stay-at-home mom and you don't do you don't do a damn thing except for sleep and take care of the kids, which, when you're depressed, sometimes that is what you do. But a lot of the times, it's not. And you don't get recognized or any recognition for what you've done, you know. And I was just using my Sephora brush. It is a Sephora, I think it's a Sephora, it's a Pro Featherweight Crease 38 brush, and it's really good. Woo, that's a lot. This stuff is really pigmented, and it's actually pretty nice. So I'm taking more of that vibrant shade, and I think I'm going to take the color Mass and Cut Crease. So vibrant, and I'll do Cut Crease first. It's a brown shade, because I'm still trying to build up some definition, you know. I don't know if I'll do a halo or not. Ugh, I really wish you guys could see what this really looked like. Let me see. Does that look good? I don't know. Anyways, I'm taking more vibrant and Cut Crease, and now I'm going to this side. But I don't know, I would love to. A lot of people said that they were just there for Shane, which totally understand. Shane is everything. I would love to meet Shane. He helps so many people out, and he doesn't even have to. That's the nice thing about him. You know, he helps people out with money when he doesn't need to, especially people who need it. Like, I need it. I would love to run into Shane and him be like, oh, I'd give you money. I wouldn't take it, most likely, just because I'd feel bad. But if he wanted me to have it, I would take it for my family. But, like, would anybody else take it? Of course they would, especially if they needed it, you know. Me and my husband, we're wanting to move out of state, but we're waiting to at least pay off our car, and we're wanting to move out of town up to downtown Tulsa, and we live in Oklahoma, and we want to move out of Oklahoma to where my other family lives, which is in Colorado. What up? But at the same time, I don't feel comfortable in Colorado. I don't like the lifestyle there. I don't like... It just depends. There's different lifestyle, you know. It just depends on where you go. And I know that there's always going to be bad people in every state. But I've dealt with some things there while I was there a couple of times that have really scared me. And my brothers as well, you know. So it's just like, it just really depends. And everybody that goes there is all about, you know, medical stuff. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want my channel to be, if somehow I can make money. Okay, basically, everybody goes there for marijuana, medical marijuana, and recreational use. And, I just don't care for that. My brothers have cards because my brothers were in really bad accidents, and so it really does help. My brother my older brother will walk and his hip will just, you'll hear a pop and his hip just bursts out of place all the time. It pops out of place. And it's just like really sad for him. And he hurts a lot. And he has 2 little girls, and they need him. And so when he takes it, no matter if he smokes it, he doesn't really do that anymore, but he eats edibles and it really helps him. So I have no problem or issues with people who need a reason for it. I don't even have a problem with people just doing it just to do it. You know, it's a plant, you know, it's, everybody wants to talk about, you know, man-made stuff, and that's not good, blah, 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 but, like, chemicals, like, medication and stuff like that, but marijuana is grown from the ground, and that's awesome, right? Of course. Anyways, my point is that, I just don't know if I'd like to move there or not. But anyways, we're paying off our car, and we're going to trade it in for something bigger because we have 2 little boys that are growing quite fast. I'm just taking Cut Crease and Vibrant again. And Mass, that shade Mass. And that's what I'm doing. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just kind of blending it right there. And I always seem to have the same issue right here. It just starts to build up here, and I can never get it to fix. Anyways. But I don't know, like, I really love watching channels talk about, you know, like, it's just literally like watching Wendy Williams and stuff, but it's like, sometimes I think, like, why are we so consumed with these people's lives? Yes, we love to watch them, but like, why do people have to get so nasty over other people's lives? It's not your life. You don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on except for them and their family. Like, Jaclyn Hill's going through something right now, and they don't have, it's nobody's business. And I understand his ex-girlfriend now messed up and like said some things, but it's like, Jaclyn does not have to correct that. Jaclyn doesn't have to say anything, but she chooses to because she is a public figure. You know, she does have a makeup line and stuff. Well, you know what I mean, with Morphe and stuff. So people feel like she needs to speak up and whatnot, but it's nobody's business what they go through. They still love each other. They're just not together, and it just did not work out. And I don't know, I just feel like it's sad that they have such a hard time and they have to go through just so much because of this, you know? It's just not cool. I actually think I'm going to go with this army green color. Actually, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I think I'm going to just take a new brush now. I have this little thing right here. This is my baby wipe that I use for my eyes and to wipe stuff off. I think I might use my E25 and start my Sigma E25. I just got these. I've always wanted them, and I've always wanted a couple Morphe brushes, but I could never get them because they take so long to ship to my house from California that I'm like, I'd rather not even order from them. Anyways, now these are the shades I were using. I was using this shade, this shade, and this shade, and that's what I've been using to build this up. But can you see how this right here is patchy because it just won't take there. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the shade called Transitional and Fickle Pine, and that's it. Okay, so Transitional is this big one right here. And then I'm going to go into Fickle and Pine, and maybe one of these like dark brown colors. I don't know. That's what I did the last time, and I loved it. Okay, so now I'm going to go into Transitional, and that's a lot of fallout. And when I brush it away, or when I tap it off, look at that. Couple dips, completely coated. There. Completely coated, and then I go like this. It is gone. Okay, so now I am just taking that and I'm building up the outer edge, it's just really doesn't look like it's doing much. I can see that it's doing something, but it just doesn't look like it's doing too much with what I've already built. Okay, so I'm not going into that color. I'm just going to go ahead and go into Pine, which once again has so much fallout. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Does anybody else? I know everybody else does it, but okay. And then sometimes I take my brush and I take it like this and I go back and forth this way. Instead of just doing it this way normally and blending it out like that, I'll take my brush this way so that way it just kind of sweeps in there and gets it. And this is the eye I always have a hard time with. Keeping everything good, because I'll have everything blended, I'll have everything good right there, and then when I go to blend it up here, it just doesn't look right. It doesn't look good. You know, so. And you want to leave a little bit of that orange color there so it's a pretty fade and stuff, but it just never works out. It just looks like I got punched in the eye. And I take my Sigma Warm Neutrals palette and I use the white color in there a lot. And when I do that, I actually can blend it out a lot better. Okay, now I'm going to go back into my E35 brush with, actually I'm going to go back into this one, my Sigma, or my Sephora 38 brush. I'm going to go back into Vibrant and Cut Crease. And I'm going to just kind of blend those on the side and just bring back a little bit more orange. I actually might just use Vibrant. Actually, why does that keep doing that? It keeps flipping sides. I think it's called Vivid. It's called Vivid, my bad. I'm using Vivid and Vibrant's the next one down. It's like the next mat down. Alright, so let's go back into the colors again. Alright. This eye always looks so much more blended. It doesn't look blended right there, but it is. I just look crazy. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I have so many brushes down here that I always have to just take a crap load of them out. Okay, I could use this e.l.f. brush, but it doesn't work worth the shit. So I'm going to take, of course, again, my Sigma E60 large shader brush like this. Alright, here's my big man hands. And it's got color on it because, hello, I use it. And this is the Warm Neutrals palette. I'm going to take this color right here, which is Sugar Milk. Yeah, Sugar Milk. Which is this white color right here. And I always take it and I put it under my eyebrow. And I kind of just blend on top like that, and it kind of just it messes it up a little bit, but then I just go over just the smallest little bit with my brush and it just makes the color way better. See, now it's kind of like blended in there. Okay. Now I take my Sonia Kashuk brush. You want to keep your brushes out. This is my contour brush, shebang. Okay, so let me go back in here and get my brush. Okay, here's my E25 and my Sonia Kashuk brush. Okay, and that had the original middle shade colors on it, and so now I'm gonna go back and just kind of fix that and define that again, because it kind of got washed away. See, now it looks a little bit prettier, a little bit better. This stuff will be wiped off, honestly, but it's starting to bother me, so. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to, once again, try to find this brush because I, for some reason, did not get it the last time. I might actually, oh, here it is. It's actually a Maybelline brush that I got, and it works super well. And I actually, yeah, this is it. It's green because I used it the last time. And I am going to. All right, so I got my brush wet. My mom needed me, so now I'm going to take the color Inspire, which is the green. It's coated, and I'm going to just pack it on. And it's beautiful. I actually might use my finger too, because sometimes that helps a little bit better. It's beautiful in every way. I've always wanted to be able to do an eyeshadow look like this, but I've never had the guts to, because simply I just never had the makeup to do it, and I never had the talent or time to do it. I still don't have the talent, but I have the time. I really don't even have the time, but I just was like, you know what, screw it. And I almost just put it in my mouth. Sometimes when you run out of your water, sometimes you gotta do what's best and just use your own saliva. Like Jeffree Star says. Like he said before. I mean, I remember when we were younger, and before we knew to spray our brushes and stuff like that, that a lot of us did that. There's no shame in my game. I mean, a little bit. But my foot's falling asleep, so I'm dying, I feel like. Okay, so I used that color. And I put just a little bit of this gold on it too, as well. It's like this beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to take my brushes. My Sephora brush that I had the vibrant cut crease and all that stuff on, and I'm going to just outline it and just fix it because it's harsh now. We want to blend it out. Okay, so now I'm going to take another wipe. The other ones have dried out, and I am done with them because they've been used.